Good morning. This is a white box. I wonder why it's a white box. Maybe it's a resurrection box. Why would it be called a resurrection box? Well, it definitely has things inside. So let's look inside. Maybe that'll help us understand why it's called a resurrection box. This is a tomb. A tomb is a place where people were put after they died. Jesus died. The one who said such amazing things and did such wonderful things had been killed. But God made him alive again. And some of the friends of Jesus, they went to the tomb, only to find the stone rolled away and the tomb empty. But an angel appeared, and the angel said, "Don't be afraid, for he is risen. He is risen indeed." And they were so excited. They shared this good news, and everyone wondered what had really happened. And one of the women, she stayed behind. And someone joined her, but she did not recognize who it was, not until she heard her name. "Mary," he said. And then she knew that it was Jesus. This is a road to Emmaus. On the same day that Mary heard the voice of Jesus, the same day that the disciples saw that the tomb was empty, on that very same day, some friends of Jesus were on the road to Emmaus. And while they were walking to Emmaus, they were joined by someone, but they didn't know who it was. It wasn't until they got to the house in Emmaus and they all gathered around the table together, and he took the bread and he blessed it and he broke it in two and he shared it. It was only then that their eyes were opened and they could see that it was Jesus. He was with them. And then he disappeared. They were so excited, they returned to Jerusalem to explain the good news. Now, back in Jerusalem, some friends of Jesus had been gathering in an upper room. And while they gathered in this upper room, they shared stories. They talked about Mary being at the tomb, about the angel that she saw. And they wondered together what had really happened. And while they were together in this upper room, they were joined by Jesus. He suddenly appeared amongst them, and he said, "Peace be with you." And he stayed with them, and he talked with them, and he showed them his hands, and he ate with them. And then he vanished. Now, Thomas was one of the disciples that was not in the room with the others. So he did not see what they had seen. But they were so excited. They wanted to share this good news, and they did. When they saw Thomas, they said, "Oh, he is risen. He is risen indeed. We have seen him." But Thomas shook his head. And Thomas said, "No, that's very hard to believe. I will have to see the nail holes in his hands. I will have to see the scar myself. I will have to put my hand on his side. Only then will I believe." Now, a week later, the friends had gathered again in the upper room. This time, Thomas was with them. And they were all talking together and sharing what had been happening. And suddenly, they were joined again by Jesus. And he said, "Peace be with you." And this time he showed Thomas his hands. And he said to Thomas, "Put your finger here. Look at my hands. Put your hands here in my side. Stop doubting and believe." And Thomas said, "Oh my God, my Lord." And he believed that Jesus was alive. He did not need to touch Jesus to believe. And then Jesus said to him, "You believe because you see me. Great blessings belong to the people who believe without seeing me." I wonder what they were talking about in the upper room before Jesus stood among them. I wonder how it felt for Thomas to be singled out by Jesus, to be spoken to directly. I wonder if you have ever felt like Thomas.